legs are certainly sore. I went for kind of a long walk today, so I'm a little tired from that, but I'll live. I walked pretty damn far. Because when I go outside, like I usually stay indoors, but sometimes I go outside and do stuff. It's usually when I'm in a bad mood or having an existential. It's usually when I'm in a bad mood or having an existential crisis or something. But who knows? Other times I maybe just hit my head hard and just feel like going outside. It's usually the only time I go outside. So, yeah, I guess I'm back to playing Professor Layton in the Diabolical box. Um, I don't really, I don't really think I have anything interesting to say right now. It's just, I should just probably get to the, should just probably get to the game or something. Um, yeah. Kind of been doing some thinking. Like, what if, like, one of these days I just give up on YouTube and just start doing Twitch streams full time? That would be interesting, wouldn't it? But I'm not really sure I'm ready to do that. But I'm getting some practice in by doing this kind of stuff, and I'm glad my streams seem to be turning out okay. So that's pretty cool. Now I can open up Professor Layton and the Diabolical box. Until I start up, you're just going to see these black screens. Uh, Probably looks a little awkward right now with Layton and Luke being cut off. Um, Believe me, I do look forward to streaming the 3DS Layton games, but at the same time, I don't because the reason I don't is because I know they're going to be hard to stream because like Citra, the 3DS emulator is not really the best yet. I've had some games run pretty well though, so who really knows? And like I said before, one of them has a puzzle that requires the 3DS's gyro controls, and I'm not sure if there will be a way to emulate that. I know that on Desmume there was a way to emulate the microphone. I'm not sure if Melon DS has that. I'd have to look around at stuff. I hope it does. Because if I'm going to play something like Last Window in one of my streams, I'm definitely going to need to use the microphone feature. So, yeah. At present, I seem to be alone, but that may change as I play tonight. But you never really know. So, until then, I guess I'm just gonna get into the game. I guess I just wasted a few minutes talking. But then again, I'm no stranger to wasting time by talking instead of playing the games. Uh, Though I should be honest, I never really wanted to make something like YouTube or Twitch. Like, never really wanted to do anything like that full time. I always wanted stuff like that, or stuff I could do on the side for more like a hobby than anything. But I may change my mind in the future. It just depends on what happens. So last time we were on the hunt for a missing child on the train, and it seems that our good professor has just had an epiphany, so we're soon going to find out the true identity of this child. Our story so far. Luke and Layton meet Babette, a wealthy woman hysterical over the disappearance of her boy Tom. The two offer to help look for Tom, though the only clue they have is one of Tom's tiny shoes. Professor Layton and Luke search for additional clues on the train. Alright, so we just talked to that couple there. That was like the last thing I did last night. Ah, Inspector. Also, around 8:30 to 9, I'm probably gonna need to try to be quieter. So that I don't get anybody coming into the room telling me I need to be quiet. That's kind of the downside of not being moved out, but I just gotta deal with it for now. And before you ask me why I'm not moved out, well, Because circumstances prevent me from moving out right now. I'll just leave it at that, and you don't really need to know the details on my family life right now, so if I feel comfortable sharing stuff, I'll share, but right now, I'm not really going to talk about it. But for now, I should just talk about Professor Layton and the Diabolical Box, the game that I'm playing right now. Tell me, are you any closer to uncovering the whereabouts of the missing child? So, you two are still flipping over the furniture to find that tyke, hmm? Do you mean to say that the child has been found? No, not at all. What I'm saying is that the child is no longer on this train. I've asked everyone on board, but no one gave me an answer that suggested they'd seen the lad. This led me to the conclusion that the poor child either got off earlier or fell from the train. Oh no, that's bad. That is no bueno. No bueno. But I'm sure the kid's okay. I'm sure the kiddo's all right. Very sure. We'll be fine. Everything will be fine. Fell off? Yes, it's entirely plausible, given the way children love to run amok. Yes, children can be pretty annoying, but that's just how they are. When you combine that with their oversized heads, you've got yourself a recipe for disaster. I'll contact the railway police at the next station, so feel free to give up on your search. Just a moment, Inspector. The windows on this train are mounted high, and every exit is manned. Given the situation, don't you think it's unlikely a child could have made it off the train unnoticed? Alright, I'll humor you, so tell me, Layton, where do you think this elusive ankle-biter got off to? That I cannot say, but something tells me we've made a rather large misassumption here. Well, yeah, and you wouldn't have made that misassumption if some fucking bitch would have actually given you the details. Wait, there's just no reasoning with you. Fine, keep playing detective. Nothing'll come of it, I tell ya. Sure about that? What's on your mind, my boy? You look distracted. It's hard to put my finger on why, but I feel like someone has been watching us for a while. You too, then? I've been feeling that same sensation myself. Do you think that someone might be tailing us? It's certainly possible. Keep an eye out for anything unusual. Oh, and look, there's another shoe. Huh? This looks like one of Tom's shoes, doesn't it, Professor? It certainly does. But the strange thing is that it's for the same foot as the shoe we found earlier. So it is. Aha! So then, Tom must be... Oh ho ho ho. Luke, I do believe we've both made a faulty assumption. What exactly do you mean? Recall for a moment the events as they have unfolded thus far. Let's see. We found a tiny shoe on the floor. That's right, a shoe small enough for a baby. And then there was the cap we found in the kitchen, but it was lodged in such a tiny corner, I don't know how Tom could have wormed his way back there. Correct. In order to get back there, Tom would have to be no more than half your size. Now that you mention it, I don't think I've seen any boys younger than myself on the train. And that was my impression as well, which is why I began to consider a different line of thought. Luke, what if you and I have already seen Tom about and didn't know about it? You see, all the while we've been searching for Tom, we've assumed that he's a small boy. But what if that assumption proves false? What if we've been wrong from the start? I think I see what you're getting at, Professor. The second shoe was the same. The second shoe was the same in every way as the first shoe, including which foot it was for. If that strange pair of shoes means what I think it does, then Tom must be... means he's a frickin' alien. No, it just means he's a Doug, and apparently you gotta solve a puzzle to figure that out. And if I remember anything, it's that this puzzle is a fucking headache. Yep. Huge pain in the ass. Just like I thought it would be. Alright, let's see. If I can do this. No, nope, fuck, nope. I'm still not doing this right. So I can get half of it correct, but only half. That is a bunch of bullshit, isn't it? Well, if you keep they do say it helps to just keep trying. Fuck. I got 3/4 of it. That's something, right? Oh my god. Well, what do I try next? Well, looks like I'm completely fucking it up now. Well, that doesn't work either. Well, just gotta keep trying until I get it. Like, I think part of the problem was I was trying to take kind of an easy way out, so let's take this puzzle a bit more seriously, why don't I? Phew. Okay, I'm glad that all worked out in the end. So we figured out that Tom was actually a bitch. I mean a dog. He can't be a bitch, he's a boy. Tom is a dog! Do you recall the girl we saw holding a small dog? I suspect that small dog was our friend Tom. So if we track down that girl, we'll find Tom. Alright, so now that puzzle goes in our puzzle index. Okay. You know, I actually don't really do that a whole lot before one of my streams starts. Like, I kind of just sit there watching anime or something. Sometimes I'll play a game. I just did a bit of anime watching. Well, if it isn't the famous Mr. Layton, dashing about like he knows something I don't. I was just about to head over to Babette's. I was just about to head over to Babette's and inform her that her child is no longer aboard the train. Inspector, we are mere moments away from discovering Tom's location. Might I ask you just to give us a bit longer to finish our search? Still don't want to face the truth, eh, Layton? You're the one that doesn't want to face the truth, you piece of shit. Fine. Since you're so intent on it, and seeing how Babette is napping right now, I'll wait a while longer. But mind you, the moment she wakes up, I'm taking my findings to her. Got it? You want to prove yourself right, bring the boy back. Before that. Understood. I plan to do just that, Professor. Inspector? No, he's the inspector. I'm the professor. What the hell am I thinking? Am I on drugs? I certainly hope not. We better find the girl with the dog as quickly as we can. Oh, and looks like we're at our first puzzle counter. And I think he might hand me one more puzzle, if I recall correctly. Hey, looky here, you guys have solved at least 12 puzzles. I applaud ya. Heartily. Can't see how I could dislike a couple of can-do go-getters like yourselves. Let's be pals, eh? Okay, the asshole's still in the way. Nope, that's not the answer. Woo, this one is gonna weigh heavy on my mind, I'll tell ya. Now, what's with you two? What can I do you for? We're looking for a young lady with a small dog. Have you seen anyone fitting that description? Yeah, I remember seeing someone like that pass by. Was headed to the back of the train, I think. Thank you very much. We'll just be on our way. Now hold it right there, Top Hat. Oh god, you're a douchebag. I see how it is. Get all grousely to answer your question, then scoot off without a word. I told you what you wanted to know, so the way I figure it, you should at least lend a fella a hand. I'm sorry, sir. I didn't realize you needed our help. How may we be of service? There's this puzzle that's been on my mind for ages now. Maybe you'll have better luck with it. Want to try? And everybody's addicted to puzzles. Like, they give an explanation for that, like, for why people are obsessed with puzzles in the first game, but it's,
Consider this puzzle solved.
But it makes even less sense in the later games. I didn't even read the instructions on the puzzle, but in case you were wondering, that was what I just remember the answers to. So yeah, it's really, really nice that I can actually remember some of these puzzles. It makes it easier, so since I remember some of the answers, some of these puzzles are way less of a headache when I come back to them. So that's how you do it. You've got quite a good head on your shoulders, don't you? Now, as to that girl you were asking about, she's probably on the observation deck behind me. Alright, let's talk to the girl.
Excuse me.
Hey, it's you!
Yes, I had the sneaking suspicion that it was you who was tailing us.
Flora, what are you doing here? I'm sorry. It's just... Well, you see, I just didn't want to be all alone again. Professor?
What lies ahead could be dangerous.
Huh?
That's why you'll have to be extra careful. All right.
You know, I kind of wonder, like, is there really any purpose in her being in in the series after Curious Village? Because, like, I don't have a problem with her being here. It's just I feel like she's filled her role. Like, her purpose in the series was already taken care of in Curious Village, so she doesn't really have much of a reason to be in the series after that. I guess it is kind of nice to see what the relationship with Flora is after Curious Village. But yeah, other than that, like, I don't really think there's much of a reason for her to be in these games. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm perfectly fine with that. So, but enough of me talking about Flora. Let's just get back to it. Oh, he's the dog we saw earlier. Quick, grab him. Well, I'll be. Tom wasn't a boy at all. Oh, right you are, Luke. Now let's get him back to his owner. But he's a boy dog, so he's still technically a boy. What are you talking about? We've been over this. The dog is a boy, not a bitch. And by the way, bitch just means female dog in this context. Because that's literally what the word's supposed to mean. Oh, I suppose I'll just be going now. Don't be ridiculous, come along now. Okay, so Flora is now traveling with us. So let's bring the doggo back to its owner. And, you know, I have been, I've kind of touched Miracle Mask recently. So, Madame Babette's quarters are just ahead. Let's bring her dog back to her. So, it is kind of weird. It was kind of weird going back to the original gameplay style after getting used to the magnifying glass controls. But, I'll get back to those magnifying glass controls eventually. So, that'll be fun to deal with. Oh, thank heavens you're alright, my sweet little Tommy boy. I've missed you so. Yep. This is Tom? Inspector, are you okay there? You kind of got a line through your face. That's probably the emulator's fault. I didn't really notice any graphical glitches with the first game, but yeah, that's kind of interesting. We were under the impression that we were searching for a boy, not a mutt with a fancy haircut. How dare you compare my darling Tommykins to some common street mongrel? Lost dogs are no matter for the Scotland Yard. The next time he goes missing, find him yourself. Blimey, some folks haven't an ounce of common sense. Come on, Barton, we've got real cases to solve. You got it, Inspector. Don't you walk away from me! I'm not done talking about your atrocious manners! You've got some really bad manners yourself, line jumping us in the dining car, bitch. Well, enough of that. Welcome back, sweetie. Where did my little Tommykins run off to today? He's such a darling that I feared someone might have kidnapped him and been holding him for ransom. Perhaps we should keep Flora's involvement in Tom's disappearance under wraps. Good idea, my boy. Eep. I do believe a reward is in order. Yeah, I know it's quite generous, but I insist. Alright, the toy for the hamster minigame. I hear that I'm not even gonna bother with. I hear we'll be making a stop in a quaint village by the name of Dropstone. How much longer until we get there, Professor? I'm not entirely sure, but waiting here won't make the time pass faster. Let's rest while we wait. So we solved the mystery of Tom. Turns out that Tom isn't a child and was as we thought originally, but rather Babette's pet dog. It would seem that Babette's affection for Tom is so deep that she considers him to be much more than just a pet. Alright, let's return to our own quarters for the time being. I'm still all alone here. Got no one to talk to here. I'm all alone again. It is sad. Ace. I don't know. I don't know why I do that. Maybe it's just because I want there to be some stuff in the chat showing up. like I'm leaving a space for the chat. Uh, just have anything to say. Like I do interact with the chat, so like I will. So I want people watching to be able to see what I'm referring to, and if there was a live stream where I forgot to enable the chat, so that was unfortunate. I also made sure to uh, put my taking a piss screen in the sources below the chat, so the chat will still show up if I ever decide to stop and go and take a piss for a bit. But my bladder is fine right now, so I won't need to piss for the time being. Say, Flora, where have you been hiding all this time? Well, until I found that little dog, I've just been relaxing in my room. Really? You've got your own room? Sure I do. It's the middle one in the third car. Wow, you do know that's the room right next to ours, don't you? You were just a wall away from us, and I never so much as suspected you were there. It would seem that my powers of observation are a bit rusty. Considering how powerful they are in the prequel trilogy, I'd say so. Eek! My word. Why has the train stopped? What's going on? Samuel, you dolt! What did you do this time? Hey, boss man, chill out! There's a downed train, like, just sitting on the track. Until we can move that thing out of our way, we're not going anywhere, man. Then get your rear end gear and move it now! I won't have your laziness tarnishing the momentary brand. But I'm just the MC. Shouldn't we get someone a little more, gear-headed to handle this? Besides, trains are heavy, man. How am I supposed to move it? I will not hear excuses, especially from a layabout conductor who barely earns his keep. I don't care how you do it, just get it done. Okay, I'll give it a shot. Just turn it down a notch, Unco. Unco? I might be your uncle, but I'm also president of this railway, and I demand you address me as such. Okay, alright, sure. Whatever you say, Mr. President. Okay, let's see. Can I get hint coins from the train? There's a hint coin. I just want hint coins. I don't care what you have to say. I just want the fucking hint coins. Hint coins. Okay. Well, that's enough trying to find hint coins, I guess. Ah, I'm too nice to that indolent, scruffy nephew of mine. All the louse does is complain. Okay, looks like I'm not getting anything out of him. What seems to be the problem here? Oh, sorry, Mr. Passenger. See, there's this giganto freight train parked on the track, and it's blocking our way. Clearing the track is gonna take some time, so just, sit back with something fizzy and wait. I see. Can I lend you a hand? For real? Aw, yeah, that'd be way helpful. You think you can find a way to move the train blocking the track so we can, get a move on? Step aside now. We're not going anywhere until that train moves off the track. Mirror heat coins. Okay, guess I'm doing puzzle now. Till we get this car out of the way, the Military Express isn't going anywhere. Alright, it's puzzle time. Alright. And I'm still alone. Yeah, I'm gonna say I'm live. It's been about a half hour already. So, almost a half hour. I think it's about time I tweet my reminder. Reminder that I'm live. And now I can just get back to the game. Gosh, I just got done watching a pretty weird anime, and I'm not sure how to feel about all the events that happened. I don't know. I feel like there was something a bit questionable at the end, and I'm still uncomfortable. Oh well, no point worrying about it right now. So, okay, so I've tweeted out my reminder about being live, so I can just get back to it and not worry about it. Okay. 26. Train swap. Swap the positions of the two trains along the tracks. Move the cars one at a time and make sure that the numbers by the side of the track match the numbers on each car. Alright, so this puzzle isn't too bad. Alright. Not sure what the fewest number of moves it can be done in is. But I'm not really worried about that, so I'm just gonna worry about finishing this puzzle. Because solving puzzles doesn't have to be a race. You don't need to be faster than others. Doesn't matter if you're slower than others at solving these. Doesn't matter if you're not really that bright with these and sometimes need a guide. Because Layton is still Layton no matter how you play it. But yeah, it is pretty satisfying to solve the puzzles on your own. Hopefully, we should be able to continue our journey now. Yep, I reckon we're good here. Give me just a sec, and we'll be up and running again. Although when it comes to something like Ace Attorney, I'm way less likely to mess up on stuff. We're finally moving again! It shouldn't be too much longer before we arrive in Dropstone. I wonder if we'll find any useful information there. I hope so. Alright, so I got a camera part. Let's not worry about it. Alright, so more stuff got sent to Granny Riddleton. But I'm going to ignore them for now. Okay. Another cutscene. I think we're going to be stopping at the town of Dropstone in a bit. I still hate trains. I brought it up last time, but trains always got in my way. I frickin' hated it. That sudden stop back there did a number on our brakes. So we're stopping here for repairs. We got at least 3 hours till we're ready to roll, so why don't you catch the local sites? Capital idea. Besides, who knows what information we might stumble upon in the village. Like, what would happen if, like, they just showed up late to the train or something? It would certainly be interesting. Does a train have a puzzle? Or... No, there's a puzzle on the poster here. Look at this poster of a train, Professor! Yes, it's quite lovely, Luke. Oh, but there's something quite odd about the picture. Huh? What do you mean, Professor? Train stations are an especially good place for dramatic farewells, aren't they? Below is a picture of a man and woman bidding each other a tearful goodbye. Somewhere within this picture is a single unrealistic detail. Find and circle that unusual area. You know, I just saw I watched an anime earlier today, and something like this did happen in that anime.
Let's see if this works.
Because train windows don't open up like that.
Okay.
Because, the frame would go through the roof of the train, that's why it doesn't work like that. Oh, right there! That was the odd section! I tell you, man, this sleepy little farming place is like the chillest place on Earth. The boss, is wandering around the village, and so is that inspector dude. The village is celebrating its 50th anniversary right now, so I bet there's tons of stuff to do. If I weren't working, I'd definitely go check it out myself. So the village was founded only 50 years ago? That's quite young for a settlement in these parts. And it's so peaceful here. I really can't believe we'll find any clues about the Elysian box. Oh, I wouldn't be so sure of that, Luke. Remember, one of the first rules of puzzle solving is that the answer is often in the unlikeliest of places. Of course you're right. I'll be sure to keep my eyes peeled for clues, Professor. Where is Flora? I mean, she's with us, right? Okay, let's head into the... I didn't mean to click on that. I wonder if the artist who did the drawing ever noticed this mistake. I don't know if it might have actually been intentional. So Granny Littleton's camping out in the back. I'm not going to talk to her though. Well, Mr. Layton, how are you enjoying your time here in Dropstone? It's been delightful. Every once in a while, it's nice to leave the city and enjoy the countryside. The air is so clean and fresh. I'm so jealous of the people who get to live out here. I couldn't put it better myself. There's something about this place that makes you feel like a new man. And with the village celebrating its 50th anniversary today, our timing couldn't be better. Come to think of it, your Military Express turned 50 this year, didn't it? Quite the coincidence. Yes, indeed it did. Sheer coincidence, of course. I wonder if there's any hidden meaning in those words. Still, could have been fun to celebrate your train's anniversary here at the festival. Well, we already have a grand 50th anniversary celebration planned at an exclusive venue in London. Oh, is that so? Well, I'm sure your party will be on par with the excellence of your train. Yes, and on that note, I'm afraid I'll have to excuse myself. Good day, Mr. Layton. Good day to you, Mr. Beluga. My, it's already been a year since she passed. Time truly does just fly by. She? Who do you think he was talking about, Professor? I haven't the foggiest, Luke. You know, one thing I was thinking about, I was kind of thinking, maybe one of these days I might, like, stream the Persona games, like, I don't want to deal with these right now. Like, you know, specifically, like, 3 and 4. I mean, those are the ones that I've played. I've yet to play 5. I'll get around to it eventually, but yeah, I could definitely do 3 and 4. If I'm gonna do 3, I'm probably gonna do Portable, because Portable has several quality of life features that the original PS2 version and the Fez remake, also on the PS2, that those versions of the game don't have. Like, in some ways, Portable is a bit of a downgrade, but like I said, it has some quality of life features that I really appreciate, so I'd rather play that version. Is this fair food? I could really go for something fried. I could go for a hint coin, you know. That's all I want. I just want a hint coin. Yeah, all I end up doing is just tapping on random places. Oh ho! Who do we have here? Visitors from out of town? Indeed we are. We were traveling on the Military Express, but we've stopped here for repairs. If you're here for repairs, I bet I know where you're headed. Oh, really? What do you mean, sir? Oh, I, was just thinking out loud. Yep, just chatting with myself. Forget about it. Say, did you notice the festival that's running today here in Dropstone? Today marks the 50th year since the founding of our village. Make sure you get in on the fun. Well, yeah, so I actually started a playthrough of this on my 3DS not too long ago, and I got to somewhere in Dropstone, and I kind of just left it there. And here I am doing an entirely new playthrough through an emulator. Wonderful. Wow, look at all the stuff there is to do. I've never been to a real-life festival before. It's wonderful. Oh, that's right, Flora. I'd forgotten how you grew up in that one little village. Well, now's your chance to make up for lost time. Let's explore. That's a great idea. Where should we go first? To the fiery pit of hell. Oh, let's go look at that booth over there. I want to see what they've got. Wait for me. You two watch where you're running, or you're liable to crash into something. Though, if I am to, I brought Persona earlier. If I am to stream Persona, I might want to consider doing longer streams since those are lengthier games. So, I don't know. I definitely do more than 2 hours for my streams if I'm gonna do that. That's just an if. Oh, fuck. Look at all the fruits and veggies on this cart. It probably belongs to the person running that little stand. Oh, but it looks like one of the wheels is dented. That must make it difficult to move much. Yeah, I bet it's a real pain. Oh, but that reminds me of a puzzle about a busted wheel. My regular isn't here. Kind of hoping he'd join, but nope, he's, I mean, he's online. I know he's online. But, oh well. Okay, Discord's rolling out something new, apparently. I don't know. I'll have to take a look. I'll have to take a look at that later. Alright. But I'm in the middle of a stream, so I can't work. Alright. In the back of the train yard, there's an old, warped wheel lying on the ground. As shown below, a star is pointing to its axle. Well, no longer functional, the wheel is interesting because when rolled on a flat surface, its axle traces a funny pattern if you look at it from the side. Of the 5 diagrams below, which one depicts the actual path of the axle? I'm not sure which one it was. So I'm probably gonna fuck this one up. Yeah. You see, like, I don't really get the science or physics or whatever behind this. Also, I should probably say I was a D student in physics. So that's why this puzzle doesn't make any sense to me. Puzzles like that, I just guess. Alright, here we go. That's right, Luke. You sure figured that one out fast. You've got puzzles, I've got answers. I'm impressed you knew a puzzle like that. I've never heard that one before. Well, I need to know a few to run with you two. Yes, we got another puzzle here. What are all these arrows for? Oh, it's a carnival game. Hey there, Squirts. Try your hand at this fine game of skill. I'll tell you what, since business is so slow right now, try the first try is on me. Gosh, really, mister? Well, I can't say no to a deal like that. Come on, Flora, we can try it together. Bag of candy dangles from one of the 3 arrows attached to the wall. Assuming that all 3 arrows are perfectly straight, which arrow A, B, or C is connected to the candy? I can't really... I can't really tell here, so... We're gonna play the guess it until I get right game.
Looks like I botched that one.
Yeah, I'm not always the smartest with these, so... So I'm just gonna guess each one until I get it. Well, looks like I was right the second time. You know, that reminds me. There was a line in the crossover. It's in the non-canon bonus stuff you get for beating the game, where Maya says, about this puzzle that only has two options for the answers. She says, since there are only two answers, that means you only have to try it twice. And then Luke's like, please tell me I didn't just hear you say that. It was great. But if I do live stream the crossover, I'm probably not going to do the bonus episodes. Because for these streams, I'm probably just going to stick to the main game. Nicely done, Shorty. Here's a little something for that fine performance. Really? Gosh, thank you. I just wanted a hint going. Festivals like this are the time to let loose. Believe me, if you're not having fun now, you'll regret it tomorrow. Just wanted a hint coin. I'm not finding any hint coin. There's a hint coin. We're doing some top secret festival prep back here, so you can't come in yet. Rude. It doesn't look like there's much down that way, so... Probably just talk to her and then go back the other way. It's a small house, but it has a wonderful charm to it. Look at this crazy-looking tree, Professor! It's all warped! With a structure like that, it must be quite old. I wonder how long it's been here. Oh, Luke, our little conversation reminded me of a puzzle I know. Care to hear it? Sure! The country road you see here is lined with a single straight row of trees, each planted at a different time and each different distance from its neighbor. Out of the 5 trees labeled A through E here, which 2 trees have the greatest distance between them? Study the diagram carefully. And I think it was, if I recall correctly, it was literally just as simple as this.
Let's see if this works.
Yeah, that one was too easy. No matter how you look at it, trees A and E clearly have the greatest distance between them. This is one of those puzzles where it wants you to overthink it, but it's actually pretty damn simple. The Layton series has a pretty bad habit of doing shit like that. Perhaps I should have prepared something a bit more challenging for you, Luke. Well, we'll save that for next time. For now, let's continue our walk about the village. Alright, now let's talk to her. Hey there, fella. I'm in a real bind here. Help an old gal out, will ya? What seems to be the problem, madam? My sweet little bird fell down a hole in the ground here. I want to help the poor thing, but I just can't reach her. Do you have any ideas? I believe there's something we can try. We can probably just let her die. Alright. Oh no, Laurel's poor bird has fallen down a long, winding hole in the ground. In front of the bird are 3 paths labeled A, B, and C. Which tunnel should the bird take in order to make it back above ground? Let's see. Kinda hard to work on the emulator right now. That's just leading me to a dead end. Let's see, does it go? Okay. Let's see. Let's go with B.
And now to test my theory.
And I was right. 'Cause I'm a frickin' genius.
Wonderful.
I think. Alright. So that's how the bird safely escapes. There's my little birdie. I was worried she'd be stuck down there forever. I wish I had some way of thanking you properly. Oh, I know, you can have this tea set and these lovely herbs. Take 'em, I insist. The tea set minigame has been added to the trunk. Though whenever, thinking about Persona again, like, thinking about it, I'm a little worried about, like, streaming Persona 3, because the final boss is annoying as heck. The final bosses in Persona 4 aren't as bad. Although, in some games, I'll probably just stream on the lowest difficulty setting. As much of a pussy as that would make me look like. But it's just the thing is, if you play on lower difficulty settings, it will take less time for me to get through the games. Like, and plus, some games can give you trouble even on the lowest difficulty settings, especially if you're not exactly too familiar with the games and aren't entirely sure what you're doing. But yeah, it's just the lower difficulty settings take less time, and if I'm spending less time on the games, that would mean I'd have more time to play other games. So yeah, if I'm ever playing on easy, that's why. And plus, with how annoying the final boss is in Persona 3, I'm probably gonna want to play on easy anyways. Okay, so I'm not saying I'm against live streaming it, but it is going to kind of be annoying if I do it. But I'll worry about that when and if it happens. Because who knows, maybe I'll need to take a break from playing DS games. I'm not always might just take it, because like for all I know, I might just take a break from DS games after Diabolical Box and do another game entirely. We'll just have to wait and see. Gracious, the weather couldn't be finer for celebrating Dropstone's fancy 50th. My memory's not what it used to be, but you're not from here, are you? Waiting on the train, hmm? How do I know, you ask? Well, this isn't the first time it's happened. As fancy as that train is, it must be in rotten shape. Take heart, sonny. More often than not, the train gets fixed up in a few hours. Quote, the festival and all, there's plenty here to do and see in the meantime. Thank you for the information. If I could trouble you for a moment, though, I'd like to ask about a relic known as the Elysian Box. Oh dear me. Oh dear me, I've never heard of the dreadful thing. Never hear, but you just called it dreadful. Hmm? Well, that's enough chatting with strangers for one day. To be frank, I was in high spirits till you came along. Now I'm crabbier than a crab apple. If you really want to prove you're sorry for ruining my day, solve this here puzzle. Wow, somebody's a dick. Let's see. It's the fewest number of strokes you can use to get the ball in the hole. I think it was 2. No, don't hit back. Hit submit. We hit submit. We don't hit back. Also, I do wonder if I could handle like maybe streaming multiple games at once, where one day is a specific game. I don't know if I get serious about Twitch. Maybe I'll do that. Not sure though. But I think for the time being, I should just stick to specific games. That would probably be a much better idea. That's the ticket. Very nice. You've got a good head on those shoulders, sonny. Did Luke get arrested yet? No, he did not get arrested. We have not found enough evidence on him, unfortunately, so we won't be throwing him behind bars yet. It's unfortunate, I know. Got a good head on those shoulders, sonny, but I guess you'd need one to pull off that hat. So, last time we found the boy that went missing. That turned out to actually be a dog. Now the train stopped for repairs, and we're exploring this little town while we wait for the repairs to be done. Look at all these booths. Now this is what I call a festival. And you'll notice that Flora, the girl from Curious Village, is back in this game. Although, you weren't here for the ending, but I think she did show up in one part of Curious Village when you were here. When does Layton have owner of the Dimsdale Dimodome's hat? I think that's in the next game. Ooh, I just love all the hustle bustle. It's so wonderful. Shall we walk around and take in more of the sights then? Definitely. Professor Luke and Flora decide to check out the plaza in front of the town hall. Now, let's see. Any more hint coins around here? Okay, guess I'm doing a puzzle now. Look at this little monument here, Professor. It appears to be commemorating something. Why don't we take a closer look? Alright. On the day Dropstone was founded 50 years ago, the villagers toasted with red wine and danced late into the night. They also built the statue, engraving it with the word red and the date 8-12. Part of the statue is shaped like a wine glass and can be filled with water from the spout at the top. While the statue describes the villagers' activities on the day of the founding, it can also show where they all found themselves the day after the festivities. Can you figure out where the villagers were? Answer in 3 letters. Obviously, the answer is ass. Actually, no, they did some drinking, so obviously they were doing this thing called baby making. Or sex, for short. Aviation voice. Ass! No, you're not supposed to look like that. But they were in bed, so... who knows, they might have actually had sex. So there might have been some ass there, too. Some nice ass action.
A true gentleman leaves no puzzle unsolved.
Alright, yeah, so they end up in bed. According to the writing here, this village was founded by its first settler 50 years ago. It's strange how 50 years is a long time for a person, but not much time at all for a village. Quite so. But this fact just invites more questions. Why did this founder come here in the first place? It's hard to believe he or she simply set forth from their old residence to found a new village. Oh, boo-hoo-hoo! Parting with one so dear to your heart is even more painful than the tightest wig. Are you wearing a wig? When she was a child, I used to read to her until she fell asleep. I'm past halfway TP 50. What? 19 more years until you're 50? Is that what you're saying? Yeah, thanks for sharing. Yeah, my dad just walked in. He wanted to check something with the TV in my room. Oh, he may not really like stuff like Let's Plays and shit, but at least he's respectful enough to not talk whenever he comes into the room while I'm doing something like it. Is the TV broken? No, it's working just fine. He just wanted to check the hookup stuff for it. But that TV is a replacement for my old TV, which my cat broke. The old TV is broken. The new one works just fine. It's actually probably the only HD TV in the house right now. So yeah, I have an HD TV and my parents don't. Pretty interesting. Good boy, Garfield. Yes, Garfield's a good boy for getting me for making it so I had to get an HD TV. She looked just like an angel. Oh, nothing hurts so much as separation's knife. Gee, I don't know about that. I guess I've never really given it much thought. Oh, fret not. I wasn't expecting one as young as yourself to fully understand a pain such as mine. Don't mind me, I'll just excuse myself now. The way he was carrying on, you'd think he just got dumped. But he seemed sad in a different way, didn't he? Best not to pry too deeply into the private affairs of others, Luke. It's not becoming of a gentleman. You're right, Professor. Okay, this guy's got a puzzle.
Hey, fellas, pleasure to meet you. My name's Albert, and I am just nuts about our beautiful village. I heard you've been running around Dropstone asking questions, but you haven't talked to me yet. You solved this puzzle, the king of Dropstone trivia, yours truly, will answer our question for you.
Okay. Boys Club. Girls aren't allowed? Well, that's sexist. Below is a wheel of male and female portraits, but you said it's a boys club. Select a portrait, and counting that portrait as one, move 6 portraits either clockwise or counterclockwise, then cross out the last of these 6 portraits. Repeat this pattern, starting from the next available portrait, moving in the same direction. If you start at just the right portrait, you can remove all the women in the wheel, leaving only the 6 portraits of men behind. Circle this portrait. Remember, you can move clockwise or counterclockwise. Okay, just gotta put some thought into this, and I will figure it out. And the answer is... this guy, I think. Oh, come on, that is a circle. Fuck you.
And now to test my theory.
You wouldn't accept my full circle, but you accept my partial circle? What the hell is wrong with you?
Wonderful.
God, these games can be so weird. Their detection can be a bit off sometimes. It's kind of annoying.
Expertly solved. Oh, it gave me chills. It really did. Oh, okay, ask away. If you've got any questions about the village or its history, I'm your man.
Would you happen to know anything about a supposed cursed antique called the Elysian Box?
It's hard to believe, but you've gone beyond my area of expertise. I've never heard of the thing.
It's... So, you suspect Albert now.
What I can tell you is that the people in this town jump at the very mention of curses. From what I gather, it seems they have some connection to the village in the days of its founding. Unfortunately, that's all the info I can really give you on the subject. Sorry to let you down.
Oh well. There's some more booths over to the right. Okay, I'll go to the right then. Fuck you, Luke. I don't want to go that way. Wow, look at those gigantic cow balloons! It looks like the villagers are setting up for the livestock competition. Livestock competition? That sounds like fun! Yes, I'd certainly like to see the competition myself, but it doesn't appear quite ready to start yet. While we're waiting, can we go see more of the village? Certainly. We can return later when the competition commences. Yay! Alright, let's look around the village some more. All I'm doing now is walking around. Over this way. Alright, let's go in here. And I've got a puzzle already. This cat sculpture certainly is expressive. Yep, he's a cute one. Oh, if you like cats, Professor, have I got a puzzle for you. Alright. One of the 3 color pictures, A, B, or C, is the same picture as the black and white one displayed on the far left. Can you find out which one? The only difference is that the picture on the far left has had its content flipped left to right, and its colors inverted and changed to black and white. Alright, so let's see. There are some differences. Let's see. Anything different about the paws? The paws look the same in all of them. Okay, I think I can cross out C. The pattern in the background is different. Like, the strip in the background is smaller, so it can't be that one. Okay, and I think the last difference was something with the eyelashes. So I gotta look closely at that. The eyelashes. The eyelashes look too small in A, now that I look closely. There are long eyelashes in the original picture, so it probably can't be A, so it's probably actually B.
This should do the trick.
Alright, I got it.
Ha! Wonderful.
Alright.
You always make it look so easy.
Alright, now to look for hint coins.
Oh, these are so cute.
My cat's cuter. Yeah. I took a really, really long walk today. I mentioned that when I started, and, no, mine is. I'm sure your cat is very adorable. But, like, I was so tired when I went home, I kind of just collapsed on the floor. And just stayed there for a while. All 7. Oh, so you have 7. I only have 1. Shit, I can't compete with that. Although, I don't think I could handle the responsibility of 7 cats. That would be a bit much for me. I mean, I love my cat and all, but but just 1 cat's difficult enough for me to take care of. And I also have to take care of the dog that my mom got without getting anyone else's consent. So there's that. Dude, you got 7 cats. That's 7 times the cat shit. I don't think I could handle cleaning out a litter box if I had 7 cats.
Greetings, I don't think I've seen you around these parts before. May I ask your name?
Of course, I'm Herschel Layton, Professor of Archaeology at Gressenheller University. Charmed, sir. Welcome to Dropstone, Professor Layton. My name is Dorothy, and I am a maid at the service of the Anderson family.
Tell me, what brings you to our humble village? My companions and I are after an artifact known as the Elysian Box. Have you heard of it before?
So you let your cats go outside. Yeah, my cat's an indoor cat, so... we don't let him outside anymore because, he kind of... Near the beginning of the year, he kind of bolted out and went missing for a little while. My dad has a nasty habit of not checking to make sure the screen door is shut all the way when he goes outside. Like, a lot of people in my family, they'll just go outside and the screen door will be open, like, ajar. And, like, I'm always getting after them for not closing that door all the way, because I know the cat's gonna bolt out as soon as he sees a chance to escape. And what do you know? My dad wasn't paying attention, and the cat bolted out. I was so fucking worried. Like, I remember we were, taking down the Christmas decorations, and it was like the afternoon, and I'm just like, I haven't seen the cat, so I'm looking all over the house for him. And then my dad was just like, yeah, sorry, dude. And he was acting all nonchalant. And he was just like, yeah, the cat's probably gone. It was kind of pissing me off. And it was just like, you were the dumbass that let him out in the first place. It would be your responsibility. But, so we went all over the place. And we had a lot of trouble finding him. And then my brother just called out his name. When we searched because like I went around the block, didn't find him, and I checked the backyard to see if he was there for whatever reason. My brother called out his name, and then he heard a noise, and like I was just so worried that like I just tried to hop over the fence into the neighbor's yard, and I couldn't make the fence, so I just ran all the way around, and I found him like under this pile of junk, because like my neighbors, they moved out, but like they were like these huge fucking hoarders, so they had all this shit all over their lawn. And so I found the little guy over there. We got him out, brought him back home, and we don't let him out anymore because of that incident. So yeah, I'm just glad we didn't lose him. My companions and I are after an artifact known as the Elysian Box. Have you heard of it before? Can't say that I have, but the Master is quite knowledgeable about curiosities such as that. The Master, madam? Oh yes, excuse my thoughtlessness. I keep forgetting you're new here. I'd venture there's not a single resident of our village who doesn't know Mr. Anderson. I see. Well, if it's at all possible, we'd very much like to meet Mr. Anderson. Normally, I'd say he'd be glad to receive you, but lately he's been preoccupied with his daughter. I don't mean to pry, but has there been some issue between Mr. Anderson and his daughter? Well, yes. Just between you, me, and the wall, his daughter has been secretly planning a trip alone. Secretly planning a trip alone? Is that your way of saying she's planning to run away? Yes. And what's worse is that the Master is starting to catch on that something's going on. But after much talk, we servants have decided to cheerfully see the Master's young daughter off. So you're in support of allowing this girl to go off on her own? Why is that? Because the purpose of the trip is to fulfill the last request of the young lady's late grandmother. I see. May I inquire as to what that late request was? Well, I myself have only heard scraps of the story from other people, so I can't say much. But whatever the request, it's one that the young mistress seems to feel is extremely important. Oh, look at that. Here I am gossiping away when there's supper to prepare. Please excuse me, Professor Layton. I need to get back to work. Oh, before you go. Rats, she's gone. Maybe it's me, but it sounds like Mr. Anderson's daughter leaving home more than going on a trip. And yet, for some reason, the servants are cheering her on. How odd. Yes, very. And think about the consequences should Mr. Anderson find out what's been going on. The servants must have a really solid reason. Yeah, the servants must have a really solid reason if they've resolved to keep a secret like this. What could it possibly be? I'm getting the feeling Dropstone isn't as ordinary as it looks. You're not the only one, Luke. But enough speculation. Let's go explore more of the village. Okay, Professor. I guess that's all I can do right now. Just do a quick save right here. And then I keep going. Since my time is not up yet. I never forget a face, and I don't know any of yours. You must be from the Momentary Express. Since you're new to town, let me clue you in on to a few key facts about Dropstone. I know you're interested, so don't act all bashful and reserved on my account. Listen, if you know one name in Dropstone, make sure it's Mr. Anderson's. Not only is the fellow swimming in money, he pretty much runs Dropstone. But he's a swell guy who treats everyone with respect. Even the mailman. That'd be me, by the way. I always say you can tell a heck of a lot about people by the way they treat their local mail carrier. But even nice guys like him have troubles. I fear he spends all his time fretting about his daughter. And that reminds me, I just saw a pair of unusual characters head up toward Mr. Anderson's house. The two said they were police from London, but something about them seemed downright fishy. Two people, huh? Are you referring to Inspector Chelmy and his assistant? Chelmy, you say? That sounds right. He said he had official police business, said he needed to see Mr. Anderson. What possible connection could there be between Mr. Anderson and the Elysian Box? Well, it seems that Mr. Anderson serves as the head of this community. It's only natural that he'd know about who and what passes through this area. He's a big fish, all right. You're right on the money about that. Heck, even the owner of the Momentary Express stops in to pay him a visit when he's in town. Yes, I bet those two officers are being waited on like kings at Mr. Anderson's as we speak. But enough chit-chat. We've got a festival going on now, so go have some fun. Okay, now he's out of the way and I can move on. Oh, it's puzzle time. What a cute little farm. Yes, and the weather is so nice that even the animals grazing in the field seem to be in a good mood. This seems like the perfect time for a short puzzle. See if you can solve this one. Alright, we have 4 horses, all of which travel at different speeds and traveling from point A to B. These horses take 1, 2, 4, and 6 hours respectively. Blah, blah, blah. I'm just, I don't have to do every puzzle I find. So why am I doing this one? Oh well.
Just listen to me.
I'm definitely gonna... I'm probably going to ignore some puzzles, because some of them are probably gonna be too annoying. The animals out on the farm sure look like they're enjoying the sun. Of course, Luke. Animals enjoy being surrounded by nature as much as you and I do. But the Pikachu... Oh, that's what you call Picarats. Those are only necessary for the bonus content at the end of the game, and I'm not really bothering with the bonus content. I didn't bother with the bonus content in Curious Village. Also, fun fact, there's bonus content in Curious Village that you need Diabolical Box for, and bonus content you need Curious Village for the Diabolical Box bonus content. And there's also bonus content in Diabolical Box that you need the third game for, and there's stuff in the third game that you need the second game for, and there's stuff in the third game that you need the fourth game for, and it kind of just goes on until the 6th game. I'm going to ignore that guy. Yeah, I know. There's like bonus. I know it's a little complicated, but each game in the series has the first 5 games in the series have bonus content that you need the next game in the series to unlock, because the next game in the series will give you a code that you can use on the previous game. That's a more simplified explanation. I hope that makes more sense like that. Wowee, look at the size of that mansion. I bet you could get lost in there. It is impressive, to say the least. I'm sure that massive manor belongs to Mr. Anderson. I'm sorry. Well, if you're lost, find a map. Those are really helpful when you're lost. So, that's where Inspector Chelmy and his assistant went, right? I'd like to see this place myself. Can we go take a look? No, for now, I think our best course of action is to gather what information we can in the village. Can't find one. Oh, that sucks. I am so sorry. Besides, I imagine the Andersons have their hands full with the 2 guests they currently have. Looks like the inspector's here. Oh, it's Inspector Chelmy! Well, look who it is. Hello, Inspector. Are you returning from the Anderson estate? I don't know where you get your information, Layton, but you're as sly as a fox. As a matter of fact, I was just there, but the servant said Mr. Anderson himself wasn't home. They said the bloke is off presiding over some livestock competition. A likely story, I'm sure. I'm curious, what connection do you see between Mr. Anderson and the case you're investigating? Not that it's any of your business, but perhaps you could be of help. I'd heard rumors that bloke had tried to find this Elysian box in the past, so I went to talk to him. But when I got to his house, his butler told me he wasn't home and that I should leave. Can you believe it? I'd bet you a tenner he was just pretending to be out. Went out of my way to see the man, and the least he could do is offer me a proper cup of coffee. But why would Mr. Anderson be interested in the Elysian box in the first place? It's anyone's guess, Luke. We won't know more until we can ask him in person. I guess we better head over to the livestock competition that Mr. Anderson is judging. Fine, let the blasted bloke judge his precious livestock competition then. I won't be there. As far as I'm concerned, the whole thing's a frivolous distraction for the rich. Speaking of which, I can only assume his obsession with the box stems from the excessive time and money on his hands. If you see anything that might help this investigation, report it to me straight away. You hear? We are always happy to cooperate, Inspector. Now please excuse us.
Sure, off you go. Come along, Barton, we've got work to do. Oh, okie dokie, sir. Alright, we better hurry up to the competition grounds. Alright, now we can watch the livestock competition. I don't know why, but like, cow and chicken kind of just popped in my head. And I just thought about like the band episode. God, I think about the most random things at weird times. Or the most weird things at random times might be a better way to say it. My goodness, look at this place. Now I feel old. Yeah, I still remember when that show aired. I mean, I can't say I'm not exactly a boomer, but it does feel kind of weird being able to say I was born before HD was a thing. Because, like, I still remember when we used VHS tapes, when we didn't have HD and widescreen wasn't the standard yet. My goodness, look at this place. Well, we made it in time to catch the competition. If we've been informed correctly, Mr. Anderson is judging the entries. So, he should be somewhere around here, right? Indeed. I wonder which of the gentlemen walking around here is our man. Uh-oh, it looks like the two men over there are getting pretty hot under the collar about something. I wonder what the matter is. Just look at that mangy coat. Anyone with two eyes can see that that's no bovine of mine. I know what's gone down here. Someone swapped out my cow for this lemon. Well, what do you want me to do about it? Can you at least point out which cow was yours? Now, how do you expect me to do that? Oh, brother, this is gonna get ugly. What seems to be the problem, sirs? This fella here seems convinced someone swapped out his prize cow for another. I'm telling you, that ain't no cow of mine. My girl was perfect from horns to tail. See what I mean? There's just no reasoning with him. We can't start the contest with him carrying on, but I don't know how we can clear up the situation. I'll take care of this. I bet the cows would know if any monkey business went on. Of course. Why didn't I think of that myself? I'll leave this one to you, Luke. Sometimes I forget Luke can talk to animals. Excuse me, miss. Can you help us out here? Wrong move. I see. Moo. Did you find out anything of use? I sure did. And if I had to sum up our conversation, it would go something like this, and it's a puzzle. Misinformation. Oh, god damn you. Of course he had to do that. Stupid fucking. Alright. Now, let's see. 5 cows are grazing at the festival. 2 of them are true moo cows, a breed that only tells the truth. The other 3 are no way cows, a different variety that always lies. Using the following statements for each cow, mark all the no way cows, tap a letter to mark the cow below. D is a no way, I promise. Oh no, C isn't a true moo cow. A isn't a no way cow, no way. E's a no way if I've ever seen one. B is definitely not a true moo. So that's the information we have to work with. And here we go.
Here goes.
It's Luke. Yeah, of course it is. Alright. Oh yeah, I was watching an anime last night and I just felt really, really fucking attacked by it. Never really felt that way watching an anime. So yeah, I'm kind of back into watching seasonal stuff, I guess. I mean, stuff from the winter. A lot of the stuff from the winter, I kind of just waited on because I wasn't sure if I wanted to watch them dubbed or not. But for some of the shows, it doesn't look like there's going to be a dub anytime soon, so I'll probably just go and watch them subbed.
when I get the chance. Currently watching stuff subbed right now, so yeah. Looks like these two ladies swapped places while waiting for the competition to start. Things should be all sorted out now, though. Oh, you betcha! Look at that build, that lustrous coat, that soulful gaze. That's my cow, no doubt. So everything's okay by you? Better than okay, kid. With my darling back, I'm a shoo-in for that blue ribbon. Thanks. Wow, Luke, you sure have a way with animals. Aw, it's nothing really. Look over here, you two. They're about to announce the winner. And the winner of this year's Dropstone Dairy Crown is... Oscar show-stopping milk maven Mutilda. Hold on now, you mean to tell me my sweet Marimu didn't take first place? Too bad you swapped your cow back, Clabber. If you'd kept quiet, you'd be the winner, eh? I was robbed! The competition must have been rigged! Rigged, I tell you! To think he went through all that trouble to get his cow back, and then ended up losing because of it. Yes, I suppose it goes to show that things in life don't always go as planned, which is very unfortunate. And why I'm depressed as hell and living in my parents' basement still. Right you are, Professor. Say, shouldn't Mr. Anderson be around here right now? It's going to take some effort to find him in a crowd this dense. Let's look around a bit. Wonder how far I can make it in the game before... I guess we never did manage to meet Mr. Anderson, did we? I wonder how far I can make it in the game before the stream's over tonight. I wanted to see if I can make it to a specific point, but I'm not sure if I'll make it. We'll just have to see. Got a little over a half hour left, so... Yes, what a pity. I had a feeling he'd provide us with a lead on the Elysian box. Hey there, fellows. We've never met before, have we? I heard you chatting about Mr. Anderson and thought to myself, hey, I can help. Here, I'll point him out. I just saw Mr. Anderson around here a minute ago. He shouldn't be too hard to spot. Oh, with that beard and hat? Yup, he's a real gentleman, and he always looks so spiffy with his cane and that dapper little bow tie. Oh, and he doesn't wear glasses. In case you're wondering, look, there he is now. Using the clues in the above statement, can you find and circle Mr. Anderson in the crowd? Well, some of these people, I know they're not Mr. Anderson. One of them's facing away, so I can't really tell. And this guy's like the only one with a, well, not the only one with a bow tie, hat, and a cane, but his hat was just blown off. But here we go. It's probably this dude.
This should do the trick.
I mean, I should be able to remember this, because I've seen Mr. Anderson before. I've played this game before. Good eye. Looks like the wind tried to carry off Mr. Anderson's hat. Good day, sir. Might you be Mr. Anderson? The one and only, my friend. And whom do I have the pleasure of to be speaking with? The name is Herschel Layton. My friends and I have come to this fine town in search of the Elysian box. I thought a man of influence such as yourself might be able to offer us some direction. The Elysian box, you say? Why would you want to go chasing after a thing like that? So you're familiar with it then? Familiar? No, but I do believe my dear mother once searched after the very box you speak of. Interesting. Please elaborate. Well, my birth mother died when I was very young. The mother I speak of is actually my mother-in-law, Sophia. She founded this village way back when, a kinder soul I never met. Sharp, too. I married into her family, but she treated me like her own flesh and blood. Seeing how I never knew my own mother, I suppose it would be fair to call Sophia my real mother. Even after my wife passed on, Sophia continued to treat me as one of her own. Mother Sophia looked high and low for that box, but she never did find what she was looking for.
So she made efforts of her own to search for it. Fascinating. Tell me, where might Sophia be now? She left us last year. In her last days, she spent a whole lot of time holed up in her room writing. Sadly, I never found out why she was so intent on getting her hands on that box. I see. I'm sorry for your loss. Thank you. Well, my mother may have had knowledge of the subject, but she's gone now. Now you know as much as I do. I regret that I couldn't be of more help to you, sir. Not at all, Mr. Anderson. I've learned a great deal from our conversation. You have my thanks. Oh, one thing before you go, Mr. Layton. Please take a look around you. These picturesque hills, these happy people. Dropstone has been blessed with so much. Sophia turned this place from nothing into a village full of warmth and camaraderie. Dropstone mustn't ever be allowed to wither and fade like so many other villages. After all, too many sacrifices were made to make this place what it is. Forgive my ramblings. Once I start talking, sometimes I have trouble stopping. Enjoy your time in Dropstone and be well. Good day. Well, I guess that's another dead-end lead. Oh, I wouldn't say that, Luke. It appears this village is inextricably linked with the Elysian box. I also find Mr. Anderson's choice of words interesting. What do you suppose he meant by sacrifices? It looks like our mystery only leads to more mysteries. Professor Luke and Flora decide to head back to the train station. Okay. So we're going back to the train. Which means I might make it to the part of the game I was hoping to make it to. This place is positively crawling with people, isn't it? Careful, Flora, if you don't watch where you're going, you're likely to run into someone. Oops, sorry, this is all so new to me that I forget to pay attention to where I was watching. Or forgot. Understandable, after all, it's quite a change of pace from London. Wow, Flora, you sure are excited. Just don't stand around gawking for too long or we might accidentally leave you behind. Ah, what's that? Oh, and look, there's another one over there. Huh? Professor? Luke? Where did you two go? Oh, looks too long. Oh no! Bad touch. Eek! Oh no! Professor! Flora's gone! Oh dear, we must have gotten separated in the crowd back there. Let's retrace our steps. It's going to be awfully hard to find her with all these people about. Now, where could that girl have gone off to? Ooh. Flora, where did you run off to? Sorry, there were so many people that I must have lost you. I turned to look at something before I knew it. You two were gone. Well, I'm relieved you found your way back to us. With so many people around, who knows when we might have found you again. I'll be more careful from now on, I promise. Hey, you know, I caught wind of something very interesting when I was wandering around back there. Oh, what did you hear? That a man named Romy was asking around after the Elysian box. If we can track him down, maybe he can tell us something we don't know. I heard from one person that he's been wandering around near the station. That is interesting news. Let's head to the station and see if we can find Romy. Way to go, Flora. That's some top-notch intelligence you gathered out there. Oh, it was nothing. Alright, let's find this person. Oh, Mr. Layton, do you have a moment? Certainly. How may I be of assistance? Seems you've done a great deal of investigating today. Tell me, during the course of your inquiries, you didn't hear anything about my daughter, did you? Your daughter, sir? Yes, Katya. You see, she hardly ever comes home since her grandmother Sophia passed away. Sophia and my daughter were very close, and Sophia's death came as a great shock to Katya. If you should see her, would you please tell her that her father wishes she'd come home? If a fine gentleman such as yourself delivers the message, she just might listen. Unfortunately, our train is leaving soon, so I may not be able to be much help at all. Katya is our only child. She means everything to me, and I'd be forever in your debt if you could help me. I wonder what this Katya lady is all about. Your guess is as good as mine. But judging by her family and breeding, I'd guess she's both beautiful and refined. Professor, get a hold of yourself. Well, what's that? Is Luke telling the professor not to be horny? Oh, Professor, hold on a moment. Could that man over there be Romy? I forgot I was supposed to talk to a dude. I heard that you've been inquiring around the village about an antique known as the Elysian Box. Oh yeah, that thing. Folks say that freaky box kills whoever manages to pry its lid open. I just found out about it during the course of my travels, but that box isn't really what I'm really after. Well then, if I may be so bold to ask, what are you looking for, sir? A phantom town that's nowhere to be found on any map. A place that only the chosen may visit. The only way in, I hear, is on the Momentary Express. That train and its many mysteries have been the subject of my research for years. From what I can tell, this artifact you're after, this Elysian box, is also tied to that town. Wow, so when we set out for when can we set out for it? How do we get there? Yeah, that's the detail I haven't pinned down yet. Maybe you whisper a word while inside the train and then whoosh, the track goes in a new direction. Anyway, probably something like that. I'll just have to keep searching until I find a way in. Interesting. Thank you for your time. Professor, did you hear that? I think we finally got a new lead on the Elysian box. It's a bit early to celebrate, but it looks like our journey on the Momentary Express isn't over yet. Alright, you two, let's start making our way back to the station. Okay, Professor. Alright, I can get back on the train. Does he have a puzzle counter? Yeah, you've got at least 30 puzzles under your belt. Nice going, bro. Okay, so just barely made the puzzle counter. I'll probably have to stop by Granny Rilton sometime later. But if you want a challenge worthy of a real rock star, give me a holler. I guess I gotta solve a puzzle. How's that festival treating you, dudes? Pretty righteous, huh? This train isn't ready to move quite yet, so while you're waiting, I'll lay the sweet puzzle on you. Before I get to this puzzle, I'm actually going to go and grab the case for the game, because I'm probably going to need something in a bit. Because there was a puzzle. There's a puzzle in the game that requires the instruction manual. I'm not quite there yet. I'll probably get there at night. So Sammy has 8 chains with 7 links each. He wants to connect all these chains to make a totally awesome necklace. That's a single loop. The jeweler says he can open and close a single link for $2. As shown below, Sammy can open an end of each of the 8 chains and make one long necklace. The necklace is a single loop, however, that would cost $16. And the truth is, there's a cheaper way to get the same results using the cheapest method possible. How much will it cost to make Sammy's necklace? About $14.
Huh. Wonderful.
Alright. What are you calling me a cheater for? What are you calling me a cheater for? I haven't done anything wrong. But if this is about the puzzle I said I'm going to need the instruction manual for, that's not cheating. The game literally tells you. It doesn't give you the answer. You're supposed to use something out of the instruction manual to solve the puzzle. That's literally what you're required to do to solve it. The Momentary Express is back in business, baby. Get ready to ride, folks. Hey, you guys better hurry back to your seats, because this train is ready to rock. Okay, I'll have a shit ton of puzzles to deal with when I visit Granny Rilton. But I'll probably wait until the next Diabolical box stream to deal with that. And it looks like Mr. Anderson's daughter Katya is over there.
Thank you so much. What's going on over there?
No voice lines.
We may have stumbled upon Mr. Anderson's dear daughter.
That's one heck of a send-off.
Considering the size of the party, I doubt she's just going on holiday.
Alright, and Katya's the next mystery. Katya is the daughter of Dropstone's most influential man, Mr. Anderson, and is boarded the Momentary Express. Several villagers came to see her off, yet she travels alone. Where is Katya headed? And why is she making the journey there by herself? Okay, and I will save my progress. Chapter 3, A Diverging Path. I just can't stop thinking about this phantom we keep hearing about. Could the rumors be true? If I recall correctly, the next stop on this line is the perfectly normal town of Luxembourg. Well then, how do we get to the phantom town? That's an excellent question, Luke, though I don't have the answer. But if the Momentary Express does indeed head for parts unknown, the crew will know something about it. Alright, so I guess I just gotta talk to the crew. Okay, let's go this way. Looks like there's no way in, huh? Guess I can't go in yet. There's no one in there, so don't need to worry about that. I'm not seeing any steps. Okay, let's see if this guy knows anything. I beg your pardon, sir, but we're not open for business at the moment. Do visit us later. You're really closed? I didn't think we were here to eat. Yes, you see, on the way to Luxembourg, there's a long, unlit tunnel we have to pass through. While in the tunnel, none of the scenic views of our restaurant affords patrons will be visible. It is Mr. Beluga's wish that all the patrons be able to enjoy the scenery while they dine. Hence our temporary suspension of service. Wow, talk about a classy operation. Mr. Beluga has really thought of everything, hasn't he? Just wanted to see if he knew anything. Finally, it's time to get down to business. Been forever since I got to do some real work. What do you mean? Didn't you just finish repairing the train? Sorta. But before I can kick back, I gotta do... Oops! I mean, nothing. Things are good. There's a little bit of something he doesn't want us to know about, huh? Good day, sir. The name's Conrad. I'm a student from the village of Dropstone. I'm heading to Luxembourg, so for a while at least it seems we'll be traveling together. Say, have you heard about that long tunnel on the way to Luxembourg? You think this guy's innocent. Okay. When the train passes through it, every light on board goes dark. Stranger still, once the train nears the tunnel, all access to the deluxe car is cut off. Just imagine the kind of monkey business some passengers get up to under the cover of dark. Are you implying they have sex? Something very strange must be going on if they're cutting off all access to the deluxe suites. Of course. It all makes perfect sense. Why didn't I see it before? Luke, I think I figured things out. Quick, you two, to the deluxe suites. Right behind you. Okay, I think the next part of the game is a bit questionable. I don't mean it's gonna show anything inappropriate. It's just the logic behind it doesn't exactly work. But you'll see what I mean when I get there. Here we are at the deluxe car. Something's written on that sign on the door. Actually, it appears to be a puzzle of some sort. I have a hunch that if we can solve the puzzle, we can gain access to the car. Okay, let's solve. Alright, in order to pass through, Luke and Layton must arrange the symbols according to the following rules. The star must be next to the moon, the X must be next to the second from the top, the circle must be somewhere above the diamond, the moon must be located 2 places below the diamond. Give it a shot. Well, let's see. And it will be something like... Something like that.
Consider this puzzle solved.
Fuck. That was wrong.
Well, I suppose that's one possibility eliminated.
Okay, I gotta take a look at this one more time, obviously. Okay, let's see. Okay, this is probably right.
Consider this puzzle solved.
sometimes I'm really close to the answer, and then I just end up messing it up. There we are. The door's open now. Okay, let's go in. Holy smoke, look at this place. It's out of control. Yes, it's far more luxurious than the standard cars. Tickets to stay here must cost a pretty penny. Oh, Professor, this room is just breathtaking. And 1.5 times as big as our room to boot. Plus, look at how super cushy the sofa is. Whee! Come now, don't jump on the sofa. Luke, do you remember the discussion we had about how gentlemen act when... Oh, you're right. It's so cushy. Whee! How's everybody feeling? Sorry to bust in on the party, but I'm just here to snazz up the rooms. Let's see. Should they go here? Negative, Sammy, that's no good. Hey, you there, smart-looking dude. I mean you, man. Why aren't you questioning our appearance, our presence in here? Me, good sir. Uncle Beluga, the boss man, told me to pretty up the place with some flowers. Can you figure out where I should put these things to make the room smell nice? Or maybe people are allowed in if they can solve the puzzle. Although he's guarding the entrance before they go to Dropstone, so maybe after they go to Dropstone, if anybody can solve the puzzle, they're allowed in? Maybe? Of course. Shouldn't be too much trouble to find a spot for the flowers as lovely as these. Alright, so there's nothing like fresh cut roses to boost your spirits. Can you help Sammy freshen up the whole car with our fragrance? Tap a square with your stylus to place a rose. The fragrance of each rose reaches 2 spaces in all directions, but can't penetrate walls. If the fragrance of 2 or more roses overlaps, the resulting smell will be overpowering, so make sure to keep your roses spaced out. To remove an existing rose, just tap on it again. Okay, that's not quite. Well, that's not quite it. Okay, it looks like that's it.
And now to test my theory.
Alright, I did it.
Leaves no puzzle unsolved.
Okay. There, how's that? Oh, real nice. It's not crazy, but it makes a statement. Sure, it'll jive with the boss man. Well, anyhow, kick back, relax, and enjoy the rest of your ride on the Military Express. Now the whole room smells nice. Yes, quite nice, I'd say. But back to the task at hand. We've given this place a once-over and come up empty-handed. A gentleman can't very well go barging into other people's rooms, so let's go to our room for now. Oh, Professor, do we have to? Feels like it's gotten so late. Can't we just stay here for now? Okay, it's time to return to our own rooms. Except we won't be able to. It's the strangest thing. All of a sudden, I'm so tired. What's the matter, Flora? Oh, gosh, all of a sudden, I'm kind of sleepy too. Alright, you two, this is no time for jokes. Oh dear, I'm suddenly quite tired myself. Oh no, they died! Huh? What's going on out there? Am I dreaming? Alright, so another puzzle where you move train cars. This one shouldn't be shouldn't be way too bad. Oh lord. Or maybe it is. Fuck. Thought this one wasn't gonna be that hard, but I guess I was wrong. Okay. Just keep trying. Oh, this one goes down here. That is, kind of bizarre. Okay, this one goes here, so they're not entirely gonna match. Let's move this one up, this down. And I'll move these cars down for now, and then I'll move this up here, this here. Move these up. This I'll just put down here for the time being, and this goes here, this here, and that goes there, and the puzzle is solved.
Just leave it to me.
Okay, the very next puzzle is the one that I'm going to need the instruction manual for. Again, it's not going to give me the answer to the puzzle, it's just going to be a tool used to solve it. Ugh. My word. Must have fallen asleep on the couch. How careless of me. Do you know what happened in that tunnel, Luke? Sorry, Professor, but I slept through the whole thing too. And I had the strangest dream. In my dream, part of the Momentary Express switched tracks while we were in the tunnel. You mean to say that one of the train's cars is now riding on different rails? Luke, what you saw may not have been a dream at all. If one car did split off from the train, it would no longer be bound for Luxembourg. Maybe that car is how you get to the Phantom Town. I'm beginning to suspect you're right on the money, Luke. I hope the Phantom Town isn't as creepy as it sounds.
Everybody get ready to rock! The next stop is thousands! Come on, passengers, let me hear you scream! Sensei.
Okay, time for the puzzle I was talking about.
How could I have missed this? Do you recall how this ticket was missing a destination? Well, it seems that the destination was staring us in the face all along.
Really? But where, Professor?
Alright. In front of you sits,
In front of you sits the ticket. Sits the ticket that Layton and Luke found with Dr. Schrader. At first glance, the ticket appears to have no destination written on it. But when you look at it just the right way, the ticket discloses its destination, the town of Fallsense. The key to spotting the destination is the number that has been cut out of the ticket. What number used to be here? Use the ticket in the instruction booklet. Booklet to puzzle this out. See, I told you it tells me to use the instruction booklet. Yeah, like they literally. I'm not using a camera right now. If I had I don't want to I could use my webcam, but I'd risk showing my face, so I'm not going to do that. If I had a different webcam with me right now, I'd probably show off the ticket itself. But there are literally a couple pages in the instruction booklet that make up the ticket, and yeah, I'm supposed to examine it, and yeah, I know, really sad. I'm not gonna do a face reveal for a while, but you're supposed to adjust the ticket a certain way, and if you fold it right, it says for Fallsense, and it's actually kind of cool how they did this for this puzzle. I think I did struggle with this when I first got to it. I was just like, oh shit, and I immediately I think I was just playing in one room, and then I get to this puzzle, and I'm like, oh shit, and I ran down to grab the case, and I pulled out the instruction booklet, cut out the ticket, and messed around with it. But yeah, I got the ticket to say for Fallsense, and so to figure out which number has been cut out, and it's looking like the number that was cut out was most likely a 5. My cat's making noise. It looks like that was wrong.
Oh, my. This one is quite formidable.
2 rows of numbers in some fashion. Well, I did that. I thought that was the number, but apparently I was wrong about that. It's not a 5 that's missing. Okay, so how is this supposed to get me to tell what's missing then? Oh, no, it would probably be a 2, wouldn't it? Because that would be the only way to make it into an E. Yeah, that makes more sense to me.
And now to test my theory.
Yeah, there we go.
A true gentleman leaves no puzzle unsolved.
So yeah, that's the puzzle that requires you to use the manual. And now the very last thing I'll do tonight is arrive in Fallsense.
Well, I suppose it means we've almost reached our destination.
Yes.
Wow, this is strange. When did it get so dark?
What do you mean?
Well, how long have you guys been out? Oh. So this is the town of Fallsense. I do believe we've arrived at the next stop. I don't see Flora, Professor. Where could she be? Hi, you two. Glad to see you're finally awake. Flora, where did you run off? I'm sorry, but the train car was so stuffy that when we stopped, I went outside for some air. You went out alone? Are you crazy? It's dangerous out there. Who knows what kind of creeps could be lurking out. Oh, well, I'll be more careful from now on. Watch your tone, Luke. A gentleman always remembers to treat a lady with kindness and respect. Now, since we're all back together, why don't we get off this train and see where we are? So I solved the mystery of the ticket. The ticket was for those headed to Falsense, destination accessible only to those riding a particular car on the Military Express. It would seem that Dr. Schrader must have visited Falsense sometime before his death. So here's the problem with that. If this was indeed a ticket for Falsense, why weren't they in the deluxe car? Because they were in a regular car, which would have headed them to Luxembourg. So if that was a Falsense ticket, why were they not in the deluxe car? That is pretty weird, wouldn't you think? But yeah, that's like probably the only major plot hole I can think of in this game. Nowhere near as big as a crossover. But, and with that should be all I'm going to play for tonight. But I will be back to the game, and when I continue it, I'm probably just gonna blow through some of Granny Riddleton's puzzles so I can deal with the puzzle counters later, because I know how annoying those can get. But yeah, I've been going for a while, so I think it's about time for me to stop and get some rest. Probably watch some more anime and stuff. And yeah. And then go to sleep and get ready to clean my house tomorrow. So yeah, that'll be fun. Well, that is all.